Hey, welcome to Dating Advice for Men Who Love Women. In this presentation, I'm going to give you one quick tip that makes you more successful with women. And this mindset shift will help you whether you want to attract a woman for one night or for a lifetime. So what is this one quick tip that I want to share with you in this presentation today? Well, it might seem simple at first, but it actually goes really deep the more you get into it. So here it is. Separate good looking and attractive in your mind. So when you see a woman that you think looks hot or attractive or good looking or sexy or whatever it is, you see her across the room, you see her at the bar, you see her at the coffee shop, you see her walking down the street, or even on social media, for example. Anytime you come across a woman who looks good, just say she's good looking. Because what I want to get us to start thinking is that attractiveness has a lot more components than just her looking good. And I know this might sound strange to a lot of guys at first because, of course, the first thing that most men are looking for is that she looks good, right? But whether you want to attract her for one night or for a lifetime, there's a lot more things that we should look at, especially if you want to be in a long-term relationship. And even if you're just attracting a woman for one night, you want to be curious about who she is as a person. That's going to help you because if you're naturally more curious in general about who she is as a person, she's going to feel more attracted to you and more comfortable with you if you have that approach versus only wanting to hook up with her just because she looks good. That might sound strange, but it's the way that it works, and it's going to help you feel more relaxed and confident. And then, of course, if you want a long-term relationship with a woman, there are certain characteristics that she must have in order for you to be happy with her in a long-term relationship. And we want to start looking for those right away. Now, you might be thinking, a good-looking woman is attractive to me. But here's the very interesting thing about this, especially if you want a long-term relationship. This has probably happened to you sometime in the past, so just kind of think back and see if you agree with this. A woman can actually look physically more or less good-looking to you as you get to know her. So you meet a woman and she looks good, and then you find out that she's not really that good of a person. And all of a sudden, in your mind, she doesn't look so good. She's actually physically less attractive to you. And then on the other hand, if you meet a woman and she looks good, and then she's a really good person, she's fun to be around, she's very supportive of other people, she's sweet, she has a lot of the characteristics that make a woman a good long-term partner, she actually gets more physically beautiful to you over time. So it isn't just that she's good looking and that's it. Her actual physical looks go up and down too as you get to know her a little bit. So that's very interesting. And the last thing I want to say in this first part of this presentation is we want to completely own our interest in a woman. We don't want to deny it. So yes, you 100% think she's fully good looking. You own that. You go right into that. You feel it all completely. You don't resist that. Yeah, she's good. Wow, she is hot. She is good looking. Oh man. Yes. And is she attractive in general in a holistic sense? Well, we're not sure yet. And if you have a little bit of a standard for a woman that you're going to hook up with, and especially for a woman that you're going to be in a relationship with, now you're going to be naturally looking for her other characteristics and to see who she is as a person. And that curiosity that comes with this mindset is going to help you, again, whether you want to attract a woman for one night or for a lifetime. This switches you to the healthier and more effective mindset of, she's good looking, so I'm curious about who she is as a person now, versus she's good looking, so now I'm trying to get her. So we want to switch from seeing a woman we think is good looking and trying to get her. That puts you in kind of a lower position, makes you less confident, you're less curious, and you're kind of qualifying yourself to her. That doesn't work very well. However, if you have the mindset of, she's good looking, so now I'm curious to see who she is as a person as well, that mindset is a lot more effective for you. Now, of course, this only works for you if a woman is interested in you in the first place, or at least open to you. So this isn't magic. However, what it does do is it allows you to lose less opportunities. that you self-sabotage. So let's say you see a woman from across the room, and in your mind you're like, oh man, she's a 10. Well, if you think a woman is a 10 in your mind, what you're really saying to yourself most of the time is she's out of my league, I can't possibly be with her. That's what a 10 is in your mind. And a 10 is relative, right? Like Brad Pitt's 10 might be different than your 10. And so what you want to do to not lose out on any opportunities, because maybe that good-looking woman is interested in you, and now you think she's a 10, so you're nervous and you don't go talk to her. Or if you do, you're not very calm and relaxed and it doesn't go very well because you're more awkward in that scenario. This is kind of what pickup artists talk about, of like putting her down so that your relative value is higher compared to her. Well, I don't believe in that. I don't think we should do that. But what you should do is two things. Number one, raise your own value to the highest possible level. Become attractive to yourself. Become the best possible, most attractive version of you. And that's going to make what you think of, what you perceive of as a 10 in a woman, higher as well. So now someone who was a 10 to you before might be an 8 or a 9. And we don't really want to rate women on the 1 to 10 scale either. If you've been around here for a while, you've heard me talk about that, but that's a different subject. So this is for everyone out there who might be listening to what I'm saying for the first time as well. So what I'm saying is, as you become more attractive to yourself, now your perception of women is going to change as well, and you're going to have more options. And then the other thing that we want to do is not put her down. We want to acknowledge the full reality of her. I'm going to say that one more time. We don't want to put a woman down. We just want to acknowledge and accept and feel the full reality of her. And the reality is, she's a human being just like you and me. She has to go to the restroom every day. She might not look that great when she first wakes up with no makeup on. Maybe she does, who knows? She has flaws that she's probably working on, that she's aware of. She probably has some that she's not. She's a human being just like you and just like me. And so what we're doing here is not putting her down. We're just saying the reality, like, yeah, wow, she is so good looking. But does that mean that I'm fully sold on her yet? Of course not. I have standards. I want to see if we're compatible. And it's more of a mutual thing. It's like, are we compatible with each other? Not like, oh man, she's hot, so I have to get her. That is a terrible mindset, and a lot of men have it, if not most. And when you switch away from that to, wow, yeah, of course, 100% she is good looking at the top level, wow. She is my type. Now, I want to know more about her. Again, this sounds simple, but it goes really deep, because when you have this mindset, the women who are open to you or interested in you, you're going to have a better chance with them. You're going to feel more confident talking to them. You're going to be more naturally curious. You're not going to have to fake all this pickup artist stuff. You're going to naturally qualify her and kind of show her that you think you're on a similar level, or you're just trying to see if you're compatible, versus either putting her on a pedestal that you can never reach, or putting her down, which is also a negative thing, and a woman with average self-esteem or better is not going to respond well to that. So this, again, seems very simple, but it goes very deep. And then when it comes to a long-term relationship, this kind of mindset is even more important, because, again, there's qualities that we should be looking for. And if you've read my book, Attract and Keep Her, then you already know what to look for in a woman. So you should start looking for that right away. So yes, she's good looking. She's my type. But is she holistically attractive? I don't know yet. I'm not completely sold yet. That's the attitude that we want to have. And by the way, if you in your mind kind of get stuck on this word attractive because you think like, oh, attractive means good looking to you, I get that. There's some guys where that means the same thing. So find a different word. Just find a different way to do this. And then from now on, just whenever you see a woman who's good looking online or in real life, just acknowledge, yeah, she's my type, she's good looking, and then find another word where you're not fully sold on her yet. Like, I wonder who she is as a person. I'm curious now about her because she's so good looking. So just acknowledge the reality that she's good looking, and then find another word that works for you where your mind isn't fully sold on her yet. For me, that's the word attractive. For you, it could be something else. So the point is just to acknowledge that she is physically attractive to you, good looking, and for me, that's only one piece of the attractiveness pie. And for you, if they're the same thing in your mind, again, Just find a different word and still make this mindset shift because it's going to help you. And also, the last point about this, it's better for her as well. I mean, women have a little bit of a dual way of thinking about this in general. They tend to, where, of course, most women tend to want men or other people to think that they're pretty or good looking. Of course they do. We all like that. And so human beings, we kind of like that people think that we're good looking. Of course, a little bit. But if a woman is very good looking, she's used to people thinking that about her all the time. So give her something a little different. Be genuinely curious. Like, she also wants to be appreciated as a human being, as a person. Like her personality, her character, for example. And that's kind of when you graduate to the next level of interacting with women, is when you're really genuinely thinking and feeling this way. And then allowing your attraction to her to go up or down based on who she is as a person as well. And so again, this is better for you and for all the women out there that you might meet in the real world. It's going to make you and her more relaxed. It's going to make everything less awkward. And it's going to allow you to appreciate women for who they are as people. And that makes you more successful and attractive as well. So this is a very good mindset to adopt. And what does this do for you? So separating good looking from attractive in your mind does a lot of things. Again, this goes really deep, but here are the main 3 things that it does. First, it makes you more confident and less needy because you're not fully sold on her yet and you're not coming from a lower position than her. You're fully acknowledging that she's hot. She's physically attractive. She's good looking. But you're going to be more confident if you're still curious, like, oh, what more is there? And it's going to make you less needy as well because you're not already putting her on a pedestal and then trying to reach up there and get her from the stars. You're making her more equal to you, and now you want to find out more about her. That makes you feel less needy inside and actually makes you less needy. And then number 2, it puts you in the right mindset to qualify a woman. So if you've listened to any of my presentations about talking to women, or you've taken the Flirting Master course, then you know it's extremely important to qualify a woman in your first conversation with her. And what this means is basically you're asking her to show you more about herself after attraction has been established. So when you're talking to a woman on the first date or your first conversation with her, you should be kind of being playful, teasing back and forth, having a good time, letting her talk a lot, etc. And then sometime in that first few minutes of talking to her, you want to say something like this, like, you know what, you seem like such a cool person. So you're giving her a little bit of validation. You're saying like, you seem cool. Okay, something like that. Doesn't have to be those same words. You give her a light compliment. You seem really fun. And then what you want to do is qualify her, which means you're looking for more and you're showing her that. So then you say something like, so let me ask you, if you hit the lottery jackpot tomorrow and you never had to work again, what would you do then and why? Or if you could have dinner with any person, dead or alive, who would it be and why? Or even you can make it fun. You don't have to go even that deep. You can say something like, all right, so I have a very serious, important question for you. If you could be any dinosaur, what would you be and why? And the point of this is you're giving her a little bit of validation, like, so far, I like who you seem to be, and I think you're good looking, which you don't need to say because just by talking to her, you're telling her that. So you're saying like, you seem fun, you seem cool, something like that. And then, so you're giving her a light compliment. I'm impressed so far. And hey, I want to get to know you more. I want to see more of who you are. So you're asking her a question that allows her to share something about her character with you. And she's subconsciously or maybe even consciously going to pick up on this, like, oh, okay, like we did the attraction stuff, we're attracted to each other, we're interested, and now he's actually showing me this other side. He wants to know who I am as a person. This is great. And when you have both of those things established, where she feels attracted to you because of the teasing and bantering, and then she feels comfortable with you because she's sharing things about herself with you, that's the key to the safe. That's what's going to allow her to show up for a second date or to go back to your place with you, because now she feels comfortable with you and attracted to you. And that's what we want, whether you want to attract a woman for one night or a lifetime. And so if you have this mindset of, hey, she's good looking, wow. And is she fully attractive in general? I don't know yet. Let's find out. That puts you in the mindset already to naturally qualify her because you want to find out this stuff. You want to see who she is as a person, and you want to ask her to talk about herself a little bit in your conversation with her. And you don't want to go super deep or heavy or serious or negative. You don't want to say like, what's your worst childhood trauma or something like that, okay? That's not what we want. We want to keep it light and positive, even though we're getting to know her at a deeper level. So just ask her to say what she would do with her life if she hit the lottery jackpot. That's already deep enough. Or even, what animal would you be and why, if you could be any animal? Those questions all show her that you're kind of looking for more beyond her looks. And again, shifting your mindset to, she's good looking, yes, and I'm not sure if she's fully attractive yet, makes it a lot more natural for you to qualify her. And then lastly, number 3, shifting your mindset to this also trains you to look for the qualities that allow you to be happy long term. So again, if you want a long-term relationship with a woman, there are certain characteristics she must have in order for you to be in a satisfying relationship with her for the next 25 or 50 years. Okay, and again, I go over exactly what those are in detail in my books about long-term relationships, especially Attract and Keep Her and The Happiest Man in Hollywood. So definitely go through that. But what we need to do is be in the mindset already to look for those qualities. And the most interesting thing about this is that guys who are just going for relationships, who are not even just going for hookups, a lot of times they still just think like, oh, she looks good, so I want to be in a relationship with her. And I mean, that's just not going to work out well for you. You might get lucky. Maybe she's amazing as a person too, so you could get lucky. But we don't want to get lucky. We want to win. And we want her to win too. So you also have things that you got to do from the male side of things, of course, which we talk about around here as well. But you have to look beyond her looks, especially if you want a long-term relationship. And again, even if you're just going for hookups right now, it's a lot healthier if you're looking beyond her looks as well. Like, oh, okay, like I have a standard for who I hook up with too. And also, you want to make sure to filter out some women, even for hookups, who might like key your car in the morning or sue you for something. So you want to look for red flags in all cases as well. But obviously, if you want a long-term relationship, it's going to be much more important to look for the characteristics that will allow you to be happy with a woman over the long term. And so switching your mindset to, yeah, she's really good looking, she's perfectly my type. Now let's see who she is over time. That's going to allow you to slow down, be more of a challenge, qualify her, feel more relaxed and confident, and have a much better chance with her. And then it trains you to always look for these characteristics in a woman as well, which sometimes as a man, we need to force ourselves to do it. All right, so that is one quick tip that makes you more successful with women. Just when you see a woman on social media or out in real life, and she looks good, just think to yourself, wow, yeah, she is good looking. But we're not sure if she's holistically attractive yet. And if you switch that mindset, again, it's going to have all the benefits that we talked about in this presentation. And if you are looking for the right woman for you for a long-term relationship and you want a girlfriend or a wife, if you haven't already, go read or listen to our best-selling system, Attract and Keep Her, right now. So this is our flagship product. And if you go through Attract and Keep Her once or twice, I guarantee you that number one, you will understand what went wrong in all of your past relationships. If a woman broke up with you or you got divorced before, you will fully understand what happened. And you'll know exactly what to do from now on, step by step, with a woman to make sure she falls and stays deeply in love with you, and that she has the characteristics that are required to have a satisfying long-term relationship with her. So I highly recommend reading or listening to the audiobook version of Attract and Keep Her, and you can get the Attract and Keep Her system by going to attractandkeepher.com/system. That's attractandkeepher.com/system. And if you're not sure that you want a long-term relationship right now, you're kind of just having fun and going for hookups, I highly recommend grabbing the Good Guy Guide and going through that right now instead. And so inside the Good Guy Guide, we cover exactly what to do step by step from the first moment that you meet a woman until she's back at your place or you're back at her place, and then kind of what to do from there as well to make sure that both of you are smiling in the morning and neither of you have any regrets and that it's a good experience for both parties. So if you're interested in that, go to datingadviceformenwholovewomen.com/GGG. That's datingadviceformenwholovewomen.com/GGG and get the Good Guy Guide right now. And also, when you see that woman from across the room and you think like, oh wow, she is good looking, but I'm not sure if she's attractive yet, and now you go start a conversation with her. Or you meet her online and now you're going for your first date. If you want to know how to have an attractive conversation with a woman every single time, then make sure you grab the Flirting Master Program and go through that right now if you haven't already. So if you're interested in mastering the art of talking to women, then go to attractandkeepher.com/FM. That's attractandkeepher.com/FM and grab the Flirting Master Program right now. And lastly, as always, as a thank you for being so awesome and checking out this presentation, we have some advanced free training for you as well. And we also have a lot of articles. We have other presentations here as well. So I highly recommend going to datingadviceformenwholovewomen.com. That's datingadviceformenwholovewomen.com. And you can grab all of that free stuff, including free courses and programs, free ebooks, and also a lot of articles on there as well. So definitely go do that now if you haven't checked it out yet. And of course, all the stuff I just talked about is linked below as well. Thank you so much for checking out this presentation. I'm Jim Wolf with Dating Advice for Men Who Love Women. From now on, when you see a hot woman out there or online, just think, wow, yeah, she's my type. She is good looking. But just question a little bit. Be curious whether she's actually attractive or not.